Hi, welcome to the second section of this course, Salesforce the Definitive Admin. This section is all about user management in Salesforce. Within this section, we will discuss the different tasks related to user management and how we can properly manage our users. So first off, we will be discussing creating and managing the different users in our organization. Also included would be the management of these users' passwords and gaining visibility over the different users in the system. As administrators of any Salesforce CRM implementation, one of our key tasks is to manage the different users of our system. One of the more obvious tasks under user management is the creation of these users. However, as we create more users in the system, we as administrators will need to group related users into different categories like sales, HR, or admin to gain better visibility of the users within one glance or at least filtered into one view. Within this video, we will be learning the different ways to create these users as well as how to create user list views that will help us gain visibility and manage passwords for our users. So to start off, we will be creating some users in our organization. So first off, let's just go to Salesforce Setup menu, go to Administer, click on Manage Users, and click on Users. Next, the Users List view will be displayed. From here, we can view a filtered list of users in the system. But for now, let's just click on New User to create a new user in the system. On the current screen, we can start entering the user information for our new user. There are several sections within the screen covering different pieces of information about the user. The first section we will populate is the general information section of the user. It includes details like name, username, alias, department, title, as well as nickname, as well as the role, user license type, and the profile of the user. This also includes the user-based permissions for that particular user. So to start off, let's just enter the general information under the name and email. For our example, let's enter the user details for our user Mike Murphy. So let's just enter Mike and the last name Murphy. Just retain the alias generated by Salesforce and enter the email for Mike, which would be at mike.murphy@mojo.com. Let's retain the username and nickname auto-generated by Salesforce, and then enter the department for Mike. Next, let's enter the role, user license type, and profile for this user. For role, let's just select Western Sales Team. For user license type, let's just select Salesforce. And for the profile, let's select Western Sales. License types dictate what features of Salesforce is available to the user. In our example, setting the user license type to Salesforce allows us to use features like Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, as well as the Force.com platform. For more information on the complete set of licenses available in Salesforce, you can visit the Salesforce Help and Training and search for a license type. In our example, let's check all the said permissions. So these user-based permissions give access to several parts of the system for our particular user. So for example, checking the marketing user will enable our user to access marketing in Salesforce, which is campaigns and campaign members, as well as checking the Service Cloud user, which allows it to access to the Service Cloud, which include features like the Service Cloud console and cases. Next, let's enter the mailing address information for our user. So let's just enter 3 Main Street, New York. Just enter our country, which is USA. Next, let's select the locale settings for our user. As you may have remembered, we have selected the Eastern Daylight Time, America, New York, as our default company profile time zone. So when we created a new user, this was set as default for our new user. So let's just retain that since it's already correct for our user Mike Murphy. Finally, let's click on Save to finalize the changes. After saving our individual user, let's just go back to the user's list view. Just as an FYI, after saving our new user, he or she would receive a confirmation email on their registered email address about their temporary password and security token. Additionally, instead of creating users individually, we can also create multiple users on the fly. So let's just click on Add Multiple Users to start this process. Just select the licenses that we will be using for our new users. Select Salesforce Platform and enter the user details for our users to be created. So let's just click on Cancel to cancel our creation. When managing a large number of users on your organization, a great way to gain visibility of a particular group of users is to create a user list view. From this list view, we can create filters to see a particular group of users on the system. So to start, let's just click on Create New View. Next, we can enter the label of the list view. Let's just select Sales. Next, we'll enter our filter criteria for the list view. As a background, the list view that we're creating is a view of all users in the organization, whether active or inactive, for the department sales. So to start, let's just enter our first criteria. Profile, select our operator contains, and just enter sales. Additionally, we could also enter another filter criteria, which is department contains sales. Next, we'll select the fields we want to display on the list view. We're going to select the following fields: username, last login, role, profile, and manager. Let's just select the ones we don't want in the list view and remove them from the list of fields. For now, let's just make the list view only visible to myself. So let's just save the list view. That's it. We have just created a new user list view displaying the list of all sales users in Major Electronics. Within this list view, we can start using this list view to get a bird's eye view of user information for a specific set of users, like for example, viewing the last login times and the different profiles for these users. Additionally, we can also perform a mass password reset on these users. So to do that, let's just tick the select all checkbox. Next, we hit reset password. This will reset the password simultaneously for all of our selected users. So let's just select OK. After a successful password reset, all users selected will receive an email containing temporary password links to reset their password on the system. This brings us to the end of this video. With this video, we have learned about the following. 1. Creating users either through individual creation or mass creation. 2. Managing users through the creation of different user list views. Then 3. Performing math actions on these users like password resets using list views. Also, for the additional user options for creating a new user, you can go to Salesforce Help and Trading and search user fields to get a more detailed description of each user configuration option. On the next video, we'll be discussing creation of queues and how we can use them to manage workload within the organization.